Happy holidays, everybody. This is Sally Farrell,
And I'm Deanna Burgon.
and we are the Burgon Farrell team at eXp Realty here in beautiful Bellingham, Washington. And this is one of our market update videos. We haven't done one in a little while, but we just want to give you a heads up on what's kind of happening at the end of 2020 here, maybe a little bit about what we can look forward to in 2021 as far as the real estate market goes. And first of all, Deanna, you're going to share with us the overall kind of market in the U.S.
Yes.
Give us a big picture, and then I'll do the more local snapshot of what's going on. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So.
All right. So without delay, let's look at what the market is doing across the U.S. So first, we'll look at the showings. Showings are up. So we did see a sharp decrease, of course, when we went into lockdown. And then once everyone started figuring out how we could still move around safely, operate in the real estate market safer, and keep home sellers and buyers healthy, then you see that increase on the slide there. So that helps, of course, the market keep moving. So the other thing that's helping our market right now is that interest rates, according to Freddie Mac, right now are at 2.71%, which is basically an all-time low. And how that helps in our market is increased buyer demand, because buyers who are in the know that if you have a lower interest rate, you will be able to purchase more, right? So people are wanting to take advantage of that. So that's helping our market sustain and will help us go into 2021 also. Probably the biggest question people are asking right now for me out there is, what does 2021 look like? Are we going to see another 2008? And looking at all the data, listening to what experts have to say, we are not going to be seeing another 2008. And the main reason is because there wasn't a financial bubble that happened to cause the downturn. It was the pandemic. So we have a whole different cause, so therefore a whole different effect. Right now we're seeing, of course, a little bit of a slowdown, but that is also natural for our market. And experts are saying that all the data actually from Q3, we don't have this quarter, but all the data is showing that we actually are not having as much of a slowdown as we do traditionally at this time of the year, which means that since we're not going down as low, our 2021 winter going into spring will also not start as low. So we should be seeing a good amount of activity in the real estate market. And because of that, that's also going to help help our financial picture. So the real estate market this time is going to really help fuel that recovery. So that's great news. And then people are saying, what is going to be, our housing price is going to drop, because everyone still thinks about all the foreclosures that happened last time. Experts are saying any foreclosures, we are going to have, of course, some foreclosures. Unfortunately, it's a natural part, but they're not expecting as many because so many home owners have a lot of equity this time. So they've treated that equity differently as well. So back in before the last time, people were making crazy purchases, doing all kinds of things with that equity. This time, they're holding on to it more. Perhaps using that equity to actually do home renovation projects, which help your overall selling power in the end, which increases your equity, right? So all those things, they think that and the forbearance, all those things are going to help that we won't see as many foreclosures, right? And when those foreclosures do hit, they think that buyer demand is going to absorb those really quickly, which then means that we won't see any pricing changes because of that. So, and they are forecasting that there's going to be between a 3 and 5% increase in sales prices in 2021. So that's great too, right? Everyone wants to see, except for, well, of course, home buyers, but home buyers are still getting that great interest rate. So, hold on to that. You can bear that increase in price with the interest rate. So that's amazing news. And so overall, nationally, it's a good picture in the real estate market. You're gonna see still increasing in prices. We shouldn't see a crazy increase in pricing. If you're thinking of selling, the national market looks like you will be able to do that. And the good thing about having a national market, all showing sort of positive signs that way, is if you are thinking of making a move from one part of the country to another, you will be buying and selling in that same market. So that's good. So Sally, what is happening in our local market?
Okay, thanks, Deanna. That's all really good news. I know that people need good news right now because we've had a pretty rough year, and so good news in the housing market, as you pointed out already, is really driving the economy right now. The healthy housing market is a bright spot in our economy and really driving us forward. So I want to talk a little bit about the local market. I'm going to start with talking about just our general stats in Whatcom County. So we're going to do Whatcom County. I might talk a little bit about Bellingham in particular, but in Whatcom County in general, and like you said, we don't have the end of the year stats yet. So I'm just looking at November, just to give us a snapshot of what things look like right now. So looking at November, you can see highlighted here, Whatcom County. It looks like if you start off here, the new listings in 2020 compared to new listings in November 19, it looks like, oh, look, there's more listings in Whatcom County this year than there were last year. But then when we come over here, we see that active listings for the entire month, there were twice as many last year than there are this year. So that means that we absorbed all of those new listings fairly quickly. We only had 325 listings altogether in November compared to 665 last year, a 50% drop. So there were not as many houses by far to choose from for buyers this year. So that was pretty difficult because a lot of buyers are wanting to take advantage of that interest rate you talked about. They have their pre-approvals in hand, they're ready to buy, and they can't find anything. So that's kind of rough. So we are encouraging people to, if they are considering a move this year, that this is a really great time to do it. So, and then we look over here to pending sales. Now this means the houses that are under contract, the homes that are under contract with a buyer. There's about 10% more than there were last year. That's about, that makes sense for what we're seeing. And we're just gonna go over here to, let's see, the median price. So the median price last year was, for Whatcom County, was $392,000. The median price for November this year is $431,000. So that's a 10% year over year increase in price. And that tracks pretty much for what we've been seeing for the other months throughout the year as well. So prices are increasing because of all those drivers that Deanna talked about. And like you said, we are seeing this across the nation. And I love that you said that if you're concerned that you're going to be selling your property in one area where the prices maybe are low and moving to a place where prices are high, everyone is sort of seeing those increases. So it's pretty, even though prices in some areas are lower in general, we're still seeing those increases across the board. So you can take advantage of that. So yeah, and then the final statistic we look at here has been pretty consistent from, actually it's a bit lower from last year. And again, this is just November, but the months of inventory. And what that means is that we have a 1 month inventory right now. That means that if we didn't put any new houses on the market and we sold at the same rate that we're selling now, it would only take a month to sell all the houses that we have on the market. So what does that mean? A balanced market, a balanced buyer-seller market, is usually about 5-6% is what we like to see. So we haven't seen that for a long time. So that's kind of what's happening, is a little bit of a snapshot right now. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was and Deanna touched on it a little bit. She said, you can manage that increase in price because of the low interest rate, right? And so that's one of the things I think is pretty exciting right now with these low interest rates. So here's a little chart for you. So if you borrow money at a rate that is lower than the appreciation of the property that you're buying, you are going to increase your net worth, right? So now we're seeing interest rates, Deanna said 2.71, I put 2.75, somewhere in there, and your home appreciation is 4 or 5%, you are gaining net wealth, right? So, and just to give you an idea of how great these interest rates are, in 2018, we thought we had really great interest rates at like 4.54 was like the average interest rate in 2018. So in 2018, if you purchased a $500,000 home with 20% down and a 30-year mortgage, your monthly payments would be about $2,036. And that's not taxes and insurance, that's just the mortgage, right? Purchasing that same home today, your monthly payments would be $1,632 a month. That's a monthly savings of $404 a month. So that's a lot of buying power. You can save that money, that's a car payment, or you could buy more house, right? You would be able to afford to buy more house at this point with that interest rate. And this is really stunning to me. So a lower interest rate not only helps you save money month to month, but over the life of a 30-year loan, a 4.54% interest rate will cost you, for a $400,000 loan, will cost you $733,000 over the life of that loan. With a 2.75% interest rate, that same loan is going to be $587,867 over the life of the loan, which is a savings of over $145,000 over the life of that loan, which I think is pretty significant. And I'm pretty excited about that, the buying power that we have right now. And as consumers, I hope that people, look into taking advantage of that and finding a great realtor to help them, guide them through the process.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Definitely you want to have people think that because it's a seller's market, sellers are thinking, I'll just put my house on the market myself. What are realtors doing to earn that commission? And it's more important now than ever with the market the way that it is, that you actually have that representation. Someone who is a contracts expert, someone who is a negotiations expert, and working on your behalf, whether you are a buyer or a seller, in order to get that home sold for the best price and also purchased at your best price. Two different things there, right? Seller wants to get the most money, buyer wants to spend the least. So that's why each side needs proper representation.
Exactly. And it happens all the time. I mean, that's our goal, is to have a win-win situation. We just want our clients to win a little bit more.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Deanna. That was really awesome. Really great news on the national front. I think pretty good news on the local front as well.
Yeah.
And we hope everyone has a happy holiday, and please contact us if you have any questions.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah,
Subscribe for our videos. We are...
and like if you like this video.
Yes. Ask us questions. We're here for you. We're never too busy to help.
Exactly. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Happy holidays.